Morning. Okay, everybody, if you're seeing this, it was because yesterday I tried to record our podcast that I let everybody know about. We did have some great people on the call who gave great contributions, and the computer gremlins somehow made it. It was probably just a mistake I made, but for some reason there was no record of that recording. So we're going to redo it. And of course, this podcast or this conversation is about stepping up from the introductory offer for a device ad to a higher ticket program of care. So we actually have had a number of our clients recently request some help with this because they find that there's a little bit of pushback going from a $47 first initial care session, whether say it's a shockwave ad for a shoulder or something similar, to a session is $100. Dr. Angelo has some insights on how he handles that works well. And we're just going to go over that. And I think it's a mindset thing. I really do.
There's three or four things that I want to share, but I think the biggest thing is it is a mindset. Are we in a growth abundance mindset, or are we in a lack mindset? So maybe it's time to check in with our own self. But the $47 thing or whatever price you're giving does not cover future treatments. And we might think that they get this idea that, oh, the first treatment is $47. Really, the way that I frame it is we're actually giving your first treatment away. The $47 is just to make sure we're on the right track, cover some administration costs. And then if the person importantly agrees to a program of care, their laser or shockwave, whatever you're going to do, adjustment is included in that fee. So the way that I would recommend doing it is do your consult exam, tell them what they need, and get an agreement on future care, right? I don't recommend going visit by visit. That's based off of pain and how they feel, and that can change week by week. I recommend doing a really good consulted exam, telling whoever's in front of you it's going to be 6 visits, 8 visits, 12 visits. This is what you're going to need. This is what the cost. How does that sound? And if you do that really artfully, you're going to get a lot of people agree to it and then say, okay, great, we're going to schedule that out. Today's shockwave or laser adjustment will be included. And then next visit, we're going to discuss your fees going forward. That's the better way to do it versus what's $47 for your shockwave today, but tomorrow it'll be 120. I word it like the shockwave or laser is included in this versus complimentary. It's included in your first visit at the $47 just to cover admin costs. The second thing, Greg, I want to make people aware is, and we all think we have the best systems and procedures, at least that's what everyone tells me, but look at your own consult and exam. If you're getting more pushback as far as prices goes and that kind of stuff, you need to look at your own consult and exam. Are you doing a consult that's discussing a patient's goals, not necessarily pain? We have recordings of this, Greg, if I'm correct, in the school back office. We've done
Yeah.
actual half-an-hour calls on consult on the exam, so you can go back there and reference it. Are you doing a consult that's talking about how this problem is stopping them from their lifestyle? When you examine them, are you demonstrating the need for care? Are you showing them the dysfunction that's going on? When you do those things artfully, you start to create more value of what you're going to propose, and you're going to get less objections rather than just telling them this is what you need without showing them. They're going to have more pushback or more objections. I know in our office and the offices that are doing this really well, we're getting a 89 to 92%, something like that, start rate, starting a program of care. So that's 9 out of 10 people go, yes, I'm going to do that, and they follow through with it. So look to your consulted exam, try to get those things improved, and you're going to get less objections. The last thing is understanding the long-term value of the patient. You're going to get some objections. You're going to get some people walking away. You're going to get some missed appointments. And you're going to have some no-shows. These people are not in your office before you put this ad out. So these are people that are coming in and adding value to your office, right? So what is a lifetime value is what does an average person spend in your office, right? For example, our laser PVA, which is patient visit average, is north of 30, which we know that's going to be about an $1,800 value. So the average person that comes in for laser spends $1,800. The average for chiropractic is 5,000 plus. Our PVA is 100. So I know if I run an 8 laser ad, that person's lifetime value is $1,800. Is it okay if they spend $47 and not 120 on their first visit? Absolutely, because I know long term they're going to be a great patient. And guess what? Maybe they're going to refer a few people too. So who knows if I even have the lifetime value correct because they refer someone else and refer someone else and refer someone else. So
That to your point also, there's going to be a lot more at bats, if you will, to use the baseball metaphor. Like rather than just waiting for your time in the lineup to get a crack at this is like stepping into a batting cage
for
because
sure.
the ads are going to be bringing more and more opportunities. So if you're already good at everything you just mentioned on this call, that's going to improve if you put your attention to it.
And I think also the mindset, it's, are you okay? We have so many docs. I don't know why, and I honor this the way that they feel, but I don't know why they feel that way. If we have a no-show, my world does not crumble. It does not crumble. I get a washroom break and a glass of water and I move on. Docs, it's okay to have a cancellation and a no-show here and there. It's going to happen. Embrace it, get your mindset right around it, and the world's not going to crumble. There'll be more people coming in through the doors. I
And to
have a
that,
very positive attitude towards it
yeah.
all.
And to that end too, I'd also like to bolt onto that, Angelo. We want everybody who's listening to this to be successful. All of our clients, we want to be more than just a company that brings in leads. We want to help you build long-term relationships with patients. So we've had situations where we've had docs who are concerned because they're not getting the results that they had going in. And when we look at it, we try to figure out, well, is there a problem with the ad? Is there a problem with the booking? Is there a problem with the people showing up? Where is the breakdown in the process? And if something does happen like that, like I've got a call booked later this week with Dr. Carla, because we're going to look at a client who is getting lots of bookings, but not enough of them are showing up. So we know there's something in the confirmation process.
There's actually calls on this topic as well.
Right.
Not to go back there, but there's resources on this, uh,
Mhm.
whether it be the way that you're booking them, not getting the paperwork out. Like we have 3 or 4 steps that if you do them, you're going to get a 90+% show rate. So for those of you on the call who are investing in the money for the ads, I would recommend investing half an hour to go review those steps and implement them because it makes a difference between 70% show rate and a 90+% show rate, right? There's
Right.
more patients in your door and more money in your pocket. So please invest in that or reach out because there are 5 or 6 things that you should be doing in order to up that value. And we want people in your doors.
So we've actually had such success out the gate that when things normalize, it looks, all things relative, like things have slowed down. They're still really good, but
Yeah.
we just had an unusual burst from the beginning. So everything ebbs and flows. If you look at something over 1 or 2 days, probably not accurate about how the projections are. Try to look at a 7 to 10 day range and judge it based on that. I know it's hard when we have a bunch of wins and then we have a bit of gaps. Look at the longer term and remember that.
When we're running a business, you've got to look at numbers and be non-emotional about it. People get emotional about no shows or this or it's not working. But I really encourage you to track your statistics. This is what I do with my clients. I make them do it because it takes the emotion out of it. I get them to track their stats because it makes it more real. You can understand where you need to put your time and energy, what's suffering, not suffering. So we hear people say, I don't know if this is worth it. And we look at their stats and you're going, okay, there's 35 new patients. When you actually sit down and look at the statistics, the return on investment, it's not even a contest. For those of you listening to this, I would recommend tracking your stats, not just for your office, but for the actual ads itself.
We have what they need more than they have what we need.
Yep.
And I think that if you go into this thinking that, oh no, they're not going to like that it was 47 and the second one's 110,
Yep.
then even if you don't say that, your body language is going to say that, your tone is
Oh,
going to say that. But if instead you're thinking, oh, this is great, we can make this person get well and they're going to be able to brush their hair or lift their grandkids or whatever the case might be,
yep.
that's going to change everything. And again, forgive me for giving advice to chiropractors not being one, but I am really good at mindset. And I've had so many examples where if you're leading off your front foot or your back foot, that really changes everything.
What are you doing to increase your, I call it FCB, faith, confidence, and belief in your product? You should be working on that every single week, every single month, increasing your faith, confidence, and belief. Yeah, having the attitude, we have what you need. Don't set yourself up. Some people get carried away with bigger clinics and bigger expenses. You can really come from that attitude if your expenses are low, and you can really just put yourself out there in front of a patient saying, I do have what you need. And if you say no, that's okay because there's two more behind you and I'm good. So it's coming from the right mindset, preparing yourself, having the right faith, confidence, and belief in your product, and doing what you do. And then it's okay if somebody says no. I'm surprised when I go into a room and someone says no. It's rare, but I'm surprised. That's okay. It's not the right fit, but absolutely, mindset is, like I said, it's 50% of it. Procedures is the other. I hope this helps. I encourage you, whoever's listening to this, go back to some of the other resources we have in the back office. Have a listen to it. It'll make a huge difference.
Thanks,
Yep.
Angelo.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody, take care. Bye.
Bye.